I want to create a series of crenels on this tower. So for that, I create a cube, create cube. I move it up. Here it is. I'll scale it down. Oops. Something like that. And maybe I will scale it in X a little bit, so it's not a perfect cube. Perfect, and I will place it in top view. So Z to see my wireframe view. And you see it's centered with the tower, so I will just move it in Y, G, Y, and place it perfectly here. Good. I move in my front view with 1 or 3 to adjust the Z position. So G, Z. And I can come back in my perspective view that way. Oh, it seems that I haven't adjusted the Z position properly. I'll go back. Yeah, I adjusted on the wrong tower. So G, Z. And let's see if it's the right one now. Yeah, seems fine. Good. So now that I have one crenel here, I want to duplicate it all around this tower. So this tower, sorry. So for now, what I have to do is press Shift D, duplicate, rotate in Z, and you see it's not really precise. I will take a lot of time. So this is not the right solution. What I want to do is to change the axis of rotation and use instead the tower or the 3D axis. So I'll delete that. And what I'll do is I'll center the 3D axis on this tower. So for that, I'll select the tower, go in Object, Snap, Cursor to Selected. Okay, that means it will center the 3D cursor to the selected object, which is a tower. I press Selected. Okay, I'll quickly check in top view, and yeah, this is properly aligned and centered. Okay. And now I can tell Blender my axis for rotation won't be the object itself, here. You know, it won't be the active element as it was, but it will be the 3D cursor. Good. So now when I select my object, I press R for rotation, Z for x-axis, and you see if I move, it rotates exactly all around the tower. Good. Now all I have to do is duplicate this object, Shift D, R for rotate, Z for this axis, and I'll type a number, maybe 20, not bad, and left click to validate. Okay, now you can see it's duplicated exactly along this shape, which is exactly what I want, and much faster than adjusting randomly the position of the shape. So I'll do it again, Shift D, rotation Z 20, left click, Shift D, rotation Z 20. Instead of clicking on the mouse, you can press return. Same, so you don't have to use the mouse at all. Shift D, rotate Z20, return. Shift D, rotate Z20, return. D, return, 20, return. Good. So now I have my series of crenelles on top of my tower. Now let's say I want to move them all in one direction. I use B selection, select them all. Okay. I am in global mode. I press G, X, for example, and you see they all move together. If I rotate Z, all rotate together. Good, I can adjust this kind of transformation. Now let's say I want to move them individually. I have to change this method of pivot point, and instead of 3D cursor point, this pivot point, or median point, which is the center of my selection, I will use individual origin. Now if I decide to move them locally, so for example on their x axis, press G, X, X, and you see they move toward their X axis. I cancel. I'll do the same in local Y, so G, Y, Y, and now I can move them away from the tower or toward the center very easily. It works the same for rotation. Rotate Z, Z, and they rotate individually instead of all of them together as a group. Okay. You can use a number 90 or 45. 90 was better. 90 again. 90, yeah, that way. And I quickly change the orientation of all the crenelles together.